Don't go through that man's phone. Do not go through his phone. Do not. Let me tell you why. I've went through a phone in my heyday, and let me tell you something. You gonna find what you're looking for. That's number one. Number two, it's a violation of their privacy. No matter what they've done to you, no matter what they're doing, it is a violation of their privacy. It's not okay. I was in an abusive relationship, and I went through their phone because they always lied. They were so manipulative. They would gaslight me, and I believed, like, if you're not going to tell me, I'm going to just figure it out myself. Don't do that. Although no one deserves to be abused, it does not give you the right to violate their privacy, to violate their space, to violate their boundaries, okay? That's just the truth of the matter. If you already have the urge to go through their phone, that is a signal that the trust is gone. There is no trust. There's no trust. And that should be enough for you to decide whether or not you want to stay in that relationship or not. But if you are in an abusive situation, it's a little bit more trickier than that. And I understand that completely. If you're in an abusive situation, chances are you going through their phone is just going to become another piece of ammo for them. It's going to become another weapon for them to use against you. Because abusers love when you put yourself in a position where you are wrong. Fuck the context, right? They're abusive, they're manipulative, they're violating your boundaries on a daily basis, on a regular basis. And when you finally snap, or when you finally decide to take things into your own hands, they can't wait to use it against you if they can frame it well enough. Because unfortunately, in abusive situations, victims are not centered. When people talk about abuse, it's very much abuser centered. There's no, victims don't get a lot of protection. Victims don't get a lot of grace. You can't be the perfect victim. They want you to be the perfect victim. There's no such thing as the perfect victim. So this is why I'm bringing this up, because when you're in an abusive situation, I notice there are victims who find themselves going through the phones. And if y'all are sharing locations with each other, you're keeping track of the locations, and you're calling them about where they are and what you're doing. And to the people on the other end with the abuser, you look crazy. You look crazy. Although they've created an environment in the relationship where you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, and you're always on edge. Always on edge. I'll tell you a quick little story-ish thing. I was with an abusive person, and when they would lie and gaslight, it got to a point where I was just like, I'm going to look for myself, because you're not going to tell me the truth. I always found what I was looking for, plus some. They were always lying. Always lying. They were always hiding something. And while they were wrong for doing that, I was wrong for going through their phone. I shouldn't have did that. I should have just took the signal that I know you're hiding something. I want to violate your privacy in order to find it out, because you're not going to tell me. That should have been my signal to leave. Now, granted, I left many times, but with the cycle of abuse, like, you leave many, many times before you stay away for good. And that was a pattern in my relationship with this person. I left for many reasons. I was being cheated on. I was being lied to. I was being called very bad names. I was being talked to crazy. They would drive scary on the road, like, to scare me. Like, they were really mean. Like, and that's just some of the things that I was going through. And I used to go through their phone because I knew they would lie. And I was trying to figure it out. And there was one time I finally didn't have to go through their phone. They just got caught red-handed, like, unexpectedly. For both of us, we were both shocked. Okay, we were both confused. Okay. And they got caught cheating red-handed. Like, I'm looking the other woman in her face. Well, girl, whatever. I was looking them in their face. And from that point on, they wanted to prove that they were trustworthy. Very performative, like most of the things that they do when they want to regain your trust after they hurt you, after they get caught, or after, the lie doesn't work, whatever. So they're like, oh, I'll share my location with you. I don't got nothing to hide. Here's my password to my phone. You could look at it as anytime you want to. I have nothing to hide. And I walked into that trap because I did it. I also shared my location in return. But I did go through their phone. They did not like it. And they would throw it in my face. And the thing about it is, you feel bad. You feel bad for violating their privacy. Whether they gave you the permission to or not, they have every right to change their mind. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has the right to change their mind. And that's what they did. So, no matter what is going on in the relationship, if you're with an abusive person, going through their phone, it's going to give them another weapon to use. It's going to give them another reason to shame you. And this abusive person is more than likely absolutely already using shame to control you anyway. It's why you stay. It's why you keep going back. I talked about this in a previous video. Shame is a tool that abusers love to keep in their arsenal. I am not saying this in the vein of victim blaming, right? Because if you understand what reactive abuse is, abusers are very good at putting you in a position where you act out of character, where you lash out, and finally you're fed up and you respond to them in a way that is so big, it brings attention to you. And they can't wait to say, see, I told you they were crazy. I told you they were this, they were that, they were this. They love to put you in positions where you cannot explain yourself. To where if you did explain yourself, you look stupid. You sound silly. It sounds like you're excusing your behavior. They love that shit. They love it. I am speaking to people who have to be strategic about how they detach from the abuser, about how they separate themselves from the abuser. You cannot engage in going through their phone if you're trying to get out of the relationship, if you're trying to be safe. There are things we have to do to keep ourselves safe that are within our control. We can't control what they do or don't do, unfortunately, which is why if you can, get away and stay away, right? It's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Don't go through that phone. Do not go through that phone. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Especially if you're with someone who loves to use shit against you. They probably don't even really care that you're going through their phone. They like the fact that you seeing stuff that hurt your feelings. They love it. They love when you're doing stuff like that. They love it. They absolutely love it. Because it lets them know that you're losing your mind. It lets them know that you are becoming obsessive with finding out what they're doing. It lets them know that all the abuse and all of the manipulating and the gaslighting, it's working. They know it's working. They know you don't trust yourself. They know you're looking for outside validation. They know you need answers. That's why they don't give it to you. They want you to go looking so they can turn around and shame you. And also remember, it is a violation of their privacy. And that is a fact. And they are going to use that against you. And if you give a fuck, even if you don't give a fuck, you're going to feel that. And you're going to carry that shame. You don't want to feel that shame. We have to find ways to get rid of the shame, avoid the shame, excavate the shame, address the shame, identify the shame. Don't go through the phone.